So we hit up our very first Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. We went to Premium Scream Night, and see, we're not really haunted house people. We love the aesthetic and the artistry. We just don't like people jumping out at us. We went through all 10 houses, loved it, and very excited to do the Behind the Scream 3-house tour the very next day. We were led on a guided tour of 3 houses. So fascinating to see the houses with the lights on and really get to see the artistry of each. We weren't able to shoot any video in the houses, but we took plenty of photos. So we're going to take you through the tour, and there may be some spoilers, although way different with the lights on than going through the houses at night. It starts with a meetup at the VIP offices at the gates of Universal Studios, then up the stairs to a gathering room where the 3 and the 6 house tours will meet up.
So we get new lanyards. Nice little button.
Personal PA. So we can see here.
And then, yeah, a little wireless system so we can hear and talk about the houses. This is cool.
Now off to the houses. First up, Grave of Flesh.
So the story of Grave of Flesh is what happens to us when we die. So we're entering the Hallmouth Cemetery, the first scene that you see in Soundstage 24. And you can see that there's a graveyard, some tombstones up above. That's our fearless leader, our tour guide, Kendall. And he's leading us through the cemetery scene.
One cool thing about the houses is that they're not only visually engrossing, but they also draw you in other ways. And so we can smell scents in the houses. And they do this by using these scent canisters, which pump out whatever scent that they've come up with.
And in this particular case, it's dirt.
Dirt. The beautiful smell of dirt.
And actually, Kendall, our tour guide, is a perfumery guy. And he actually told us the things that they use to create that scent, which is pretty crazy that he knows that. But yeah, they pump the scent into the various scenes to help create an added immersive experience. And in this case, it was dirt. Because as you can see now, we are in our grave. You look up, you see the tombstone above you. And they also use another element. They can't touch you in the scare actors, but they can touch you with water and air. So that's one of the tricks that they use. And they have water dripping on top of this grave to create that eerie effect.
And also, the water dripping down helps draw your eye up. So you get dripped on, and then you look up going, oh, what dripped on me? And then you go, oh,
there's
crap,
my tombstone.
I'm in a grave.
I'm dead. Yeah. And so then you make your way through the maze, and you are basically underground. There's a whole lot of brown. You're going through this cavernous, because here's the deal. There are flesh eaters who are taking over the world by eating the dead, and they're after you. And you pass these big giant pods that will light up while the house is active, and you can see that they're hanging and swinging and twitching, and that's where the flesh eaters come from. I didn't really understand what the Escher stairs had to do with.
I think it had some philosophical thing having to do with
losing your mind.
Yeah.
Your mind escaping.
Something like that.
This is also a really cool scare trick that they use, where it's a screen like you see on a bus when they wrap a bus and it's got ads on the outside. You can't see what's on the inside unless there's light. And so the scare actor can be behind the screen in the dark, and then all of a sudden they pop light on and bam, they're right there in your face. Give you a startle.
That is called the Lex Jet Wrap.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
There's a technical term for that.
There is.
Sweet.
There you go.
Code name for this house, because every house in HHN 34 has a code name, and this year it's all flowers. And the code name for this one is
Lily.
Because that is a typical go-to funeral flower.
Yes.
The other thing is every house has a hidden lizard.
The lizard.
And it's a thing where you go to try to find the lizard in each house. And here in this one, spoiler alert, turn away if you care about this, but the lizard is in the first room. And here it is right there.
Apparently they started doing that as a thing for the Behind the Screams tours people to find, because they know you're never going to find it when you're just going through the house.
There's no way. There's so much stuff going on when you're going through the house. It's hard to follow the storyline and even look up to see the grave because you just are worried about what's coming out of the next boo hole. It's kind of amazing to see all of the details here on the Behind the Screams tour. All of the things that we missed the night before, even though we loved it the night before, we love it even more having gone through the houses and getting to see the artistry. Like this room that finally opens up where it's very different than all of the brown, the dirt that you've been going through. This room is pastels, and even though there are bodies wrapped in the fabrics stuck to the walls and everything, and there is a giant platform where a actor is frightening you, but
well, he's standing there and he has they have like a gown on that has tatters of cloth, and they have an air vent below them, and so it's blowing up and it's blowing the tatters around.
So you get a Marilyn Monroe moment?
Yeah, kind of like a spooky Marilyn Monroe.
Right.
Maybe like a Marilyn Manson moment.
Right. The other Marilyn. Yeah, so, but it's a beautiful room.
It is really pretty.
And it has a different scent than the rest of the house. So this is like a reprieve, and maybe it lets your guard down a little bit because it is not of the same ilk as the dirt maze that we've been going through, but it is a really cool room in the house, and it opens things up. But you do have to look up to see some of these bodies that are dangling right above you, or the guy that's about to reach out and grab you. Look out. And you can see that they have fans above too that help blow all of the fabrics around. This is a trigger that the scare actors will step on. It initiates some lights or a sound, and then they will jump out accordingly. But they are the ones that actually trigger it by stepping on those pedals.
Yeah, I thought it was just on like an audio loop or something.
And they just had to have great timing.
Yeah.
But no, they actually trigger it. So it is super interactive, so they know when you're coming. And actually the space behind where they hide is actually rather large. And this is a look at one of those spaces where an actor will hide before they jump out. And they actually have multiple exits that they can jump out at you at, so they can get you on any number of scenes. And then at the end, you're back in the dirt. The skeletons are looking down on you. Pretty cool house, actually, especially after you get the entire story.
But let's move on to the next house, which I think is probably one of my favorites, and that's Dolls Let's Play Dead.
Yeah, this was so cool. And to find out things like, it's actually built around a character named Layla.
Yes.
Who is this little girl, not unlike Sid in Toy Story, right?
Well, I mean, maybe a little more sadistic.
A little bit more sadistic, but nonetheless, maybe when you were a kid, you used to burn your army men, or
I don't know what you're talking about, or fry your Barbie's hair.
Right, or cut it to give her a mohawk. But this even takes it a little bit further, and Layla creates some pretty creepy concoctions. But this house is so cool. By the way, that's Layla right there behind us. We found her at the bar one night. It's in the spring tent number 2, smaller space. I would love for this to be a bigger house, but you walk in and you are small like a doll. You can see that by the outlet right there. It kind of makes you realize that you are small in front of like a plastic playhouse. And there's actually these buttons behind you by this door, which is a GAT, which is for guest activated trigger. So if you push that, you would actually initiate somebody saying she's going to hurt you or something like that. And there are a couple of these in this house. There's also that rat tail. Keep an eye on that because that comes back to play later in the house.
There's a 34, which is in reference to this being, the 34th Halloween Horror Nights?
Yep, Halloween HHN 34. All kinds of little things, but like you can actually get that feeling like you're the size of these toy blocks or Legos or the teddy bear. You see the crayon drawn everywhere. And now you can start to see some of the oddity dolls that Layla has created with the safety pin through her head, which is actually pretty punk.
I was going to say, yeah.
Vivian Westwood lives.
I would totally have that doll.
Selfie right there.
I told you I like
Again, they also are pumping in smells into this house. It is a thing that happens in pretty much every house. You can see that little spot up there by the foot. That's the tube where they pipe the smells in.
Does it smell like feet?
It does not smell like feet. At least not yet. And then there are these pictures of these cats.
They're very curious, the pictures.
Yeah, there's like this one has the X through the small one, but then the picture above it, it's the infinity loop of pictures, and they just keep popping up throughout the house, so it's something to keep your eye on. There's also another guest-activated trigger in this house on the whisker tickler, which rises up a little bit. It's got the little button on the side, and if you push it, the floor will vibrate underneath you.
And a puff of air comes out the side.
Right. So again, they can
guard.
use things like the air to touch you because the scare actors can't. And then you move on to another room where you start to see that you're inside one of the playhouse things. You can, if you were a kid, you might remember those grates where light would come through in the playhouse. And now you're in one of these playhouses where things are tied up with yarn and string. And it's just getting creepy.
I think this was my favorite room.
That one is?
In the playhouse, because that spider was so cool.
Yeah,
just
see all
the yarn
the
web.
different limbs attached to it.
It's so cool. And then there is a little Easter egg for people that have been to Halloween Horror Nights before, and that is the clown that's on the bed sheets.
Oh yeah,
underneath
that's
the spider.
Jack, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Jack the Clown. And he does make an appearance, I think, in a previous Halloween Horror Night.
It's kind of like a spider's web where all of these things are plastered to the wall and ceiling. And there's those cats again in a different position, but still creepy.
And they never explained what the cats were for.
Yeah, we never got the story behind that. But then we move into the Easy Bake Oven room. I think you can imagine what happens with a little girl like Layla and an Easy Bake Oven. It isn't pretty, and it smells like melted plastic and chocolate. And they've nailed that smell, and they piped that in as well.
And then when you go into the Easy Bake Oven room, you can see the heating elements on the ceiling, and it was really hot in there. Like when we went through at night,
yeah,
it was really hot and really, really foggy, so you couldn't really see anything, and it mimicked being in an Easy Bake Oven.
And then you come out of that room, and you're under her bed. You look up, and you realize that those are the box spring supports. And you're under the bed, and all kinds of stuff is under there. But these boxes are so cool. You blast past them while you're going through the house at night, but here we have a chance to actually look at some of the text on them, and it's pretty funny. Join the Furbots universe today. And actually, if you look at the fine print there at the bottom, it has to do with like the tagline for Hollywood Horror Nights. You know, come be scared, check out 10 haunted houses and stuff like that.
It's amazing to me that the creative team comes up, just creates all of this on their own.
Yeah, it's so creative. And again, you don't really notice it when you're going through the house. So it's kind of for their own edification, but also for the people who get to experience here on the Behind the Screams tour. It's so cool. And there's that giant baby head doll that...
it's not okay.
It was not our favorite moment in the house. That's a pretty scary thing. Another box with a green label on it that says purely, this is just a green label. Just green. Doesn't mean anything. It's just green.
And then there was a shot there of some mats on the floor. And anytime you come across mats that are on the floor, it means there's a water element. Right, because it gives the water a place to drain. So just a little tip that if you're walking through and you realize you're on some rubber mats, there's water either happening or about to happen. So be ready for that. There's some really strange concoctions that Layla has created, like this three-headed, I don't know, four-legged. That's crazy. Like a spider doll thing.
And creepy heads.
Ugh.
I mean, you can't have scary dolls without creepy heads. And there is actually a scare actor that is next to those heads that will wave them around in the dark, and all you see are the heads. It's pretty crazy. How about those toothpicks that you would see in like a sandwich, maybe a BLT or something like that?
Yeah, so those were created using the handles of brooms.
Oh, yeah, broomsticks.
Yeah, and then they just put the cellophane stuff on top.
So
which
cool.
is pretty cool.
Yeah, it came out perfect. I mean, you knew exactly what those were when you saw them.
Oh, 100%.
And again, just the scale. You are small. You are the doll size. And by all of the big things that are surrounding you that are normally small in our world. And then there's the chicken.
They wanted people to come up with a name for the chicken.
Oh, yeah. So if you have a name for this chicken, which we never came up with one, so we'll leave that to you. Leave a comment below. What would you name the chicken? Is there a chicken emoji? Put a chicken emoji and then name the chicken. in the comments if you got that. But Dolls, Let's Play Dead, one of our favorite houses. And then the third house that we got to visit on the Behind the Screams 3-house tour is another original, Hatchet and Chains, which basically is just, they explained that it's an excuse to do a Western haunted house.
But this was taken from...
This is actually an extension from Slaughter Cinema 2, which was in this space last year. So they took, that had 8 different scenes from 8 different movies, you know, B horror movies. One of them was a Western, and so they just kind of expanded upon that, but they created amazing characters. Hatchet himself is actually a demon, and Chains is a bounty hunter who actually can understand the demons. And so therefore, he has the power. He's the one who has the voice, and he wraps Chains around to kind of corral the demons. And then Hatchet just throws hatchets. And if you walk through the house, you'll see hatchets in the wall in various places. And then if you look up, you'll see the chains everywhere. And they all are painted with fluorescent paint so that they glow, especially in when the house is active at night. This house starts with a scare actor out front. This woman, not happy about the train moving through town, eating up her land, so she has called the demons to get back into town. But of course, the demons don't really care. They just want all the souls they can grab. So they have wreaked havoc on the entire town, and they're looking to expand. And this is the crazy woman that you meet out front at night. She, of course, not here during the Behind the Screams tour, but you can see some of the handiwork of the demons in front of the great facade for this tent haunted house. When you're inside, you can start to see the old West come alive in these houses. This is the hotel where Kendall is behind the desk, and he's pointing out that the registry for the hotel actually bears names of the people who worked on the house. Like the creator of this one is Dylan Colrath, and Charles Gray is the director of this house, and they have been part of the HHN family for a long time, and their names are listed here on the registry here. And also on the board behind them is a list of names, and those are all pets from the people who worked on the house.
And then Colrath is known for doing lots of things where you can actually see through the house. So you're in one section and you can see through to another section that's like in the future.
Just like this shot here, which is one of the lava demons coming up through the fireplace. Such a cool element.
Oh, this guy got me so good when we were walking through the night before.
The first night.
Yeah.
And then lava demons got this poor horse, which our friend Gus wanted to touch so bad.
I was going to talk about the effects of that fireplace demon. It looks like there is burning coal around him, and that is called the Windy Special. And that is named after the special effects person who created that effect. And basically it's you put down Christmas lights, and then you put spray foam over it, and then you paint the spray foam, and then when you turn the Christmas lights on, it looks like burning embers in a fireplace. So
again, really creative, really simple, but super effective in the scheme of the entire house.
Yes.
Pretty amazing. There are some of the chains that Chains is using to try to... So we're behind the chaos, one step behind. It is happening before we get to every room. And when we get to a room, you can see what has transpired before we got there. And it's usually pretty chaotic and bloody at times. This is Thunder.
Thunder.
They found Thunder at a
thrift
store years ago, and they just thought he'd be perfect to put in various houses from year to year. And this year he is on the wall in Hatchet and Chains, and I believe his name is on that board of pets beforehand.
Yeah, so if you go through a house in the future, try to keep an eye out for Thunder. He's kind of like a little Easter egg. Much like the lizards, but
this is one that more people can find. Yeah. Again, so many cool elements. You get the smell of burnt in here because of the lava demons and the... Oh,
and this one, that scare, an actor actually reaches his hand or her hand through the face of that
I didn't catch that. Really?
Yeah.
Did it get you?
It did not get me.
Okay.
No, because I don't think when we went through, I don't think they reached their hand through. I think they kind of did it on the
Speaking
side.
of reaching through or popping through, the back of this casket, which is standing vertical, it has vinyl slats. So when you're looking at it, it looks like wooden slats, but they're vinyl, and you can peel them apart and pop through, as Kendall is demonstrating here. Pretty cool. And it's simple too, but in the dark and the lights and in the flash and everything, it's amazing. There's a cemetery in this scene, in this house.
And we found out that a graveyard, the difference between a graveyard and a cemetery is that a cemetery is not next to a church.
No.
So
even though you would think with the C, but it's not the case.
A cemetery just sounds more religious, I think, than graveyard.
Yeah,
but
not the case.
Opposite.
This one is actually outside of a school. So this is a cemetery outside of the schoolhouse right there. And then you come to a house of ill repute. As you make your way through the cemetery around the schoolhouse, there is, on top of the house of ill repute, a woman who has been disfigured and her skirt has been ripped. And this creates a story within a story.
Yes, you can see she's been attacked by the demon there.
Actually still in the process of being attacked by the demon.
Yes.
But her skirt is ripped, and we will see what happened to that little piece or why that happened later on in the house towards the end. This was such a great effect. They actually have like a train effect where you look out the window and there's a video screen playing the scene going by, and it's like you're on the train. We were shocked to learn this fact. How many people do you think are part of the Halloween Horror Nights decor team?
I would think with as many houses as they have, there would probably be like at least 30 people.
At least 30,
if not 100.
If not 100, right?
Yeah.
How many are there?
Well, you're looking at them. There are 8. 8 people.
8 people take care of all the decor for all 10 houses.
What an awesome, fun job that would be.
Amazing. Actually, when we were going through this house, they were working on something. They were cleaning something up, making some changes, because it was after the very first night, after Premium Scream Night.
So we got to see 2 of the 8, which was
Two
really
of the
cool.
8, which is really amazing. So these are their pictures. They've doctored them up, put mustaches and whatnot, but...
And I thought the thing that was really cool is when they passed by, our entire group like cheered for them.
Yeah.
And so
Mad,
said thank you. And
mad respect,
Yeah.
and they deserve every bit of that.
Yeah, it was good.
We also learned that they start working on houses now, April the year before they launch. So right now, they're 6 months into working on next year's house.
I guess to get some of the IPs, it can start years
Right.
before. I think they said Five Nights at Freddy's, it took them like
6 or 7 years to get their
forever.
hands on that. Yeah. And now we come to find out what happened to that bit of skirt that came from the woman on top of the house of ill repute.
This guy's definitely seen better days.
It is wrapped around this guy's neck. And if you read this scribe right here that he has written, it basically explains that he met the woman the night before and she gave him a bit of her skirt to remember him by. Of course, it didn't help him at all because he ends up the same outcome that she had, but he must have had a good time.
Yeah, must have been a night.
Gone out with a bang. But I really like that house.
And I think doing the Behind the Screams tour, it made me more appreciative of the house, because when you first go through it, if you don't know the story, you get basically like one dimension of it. And then when you do the Behind the Screams tour and you go through again, you catch the story.
Yeah. So it actually enhanced just about everything.
Yeah. And the code name for Hatchet and Chains is Carnation.
It's kind of like an old-timey Western flower.
I feel like it is too.
Yeah.
So I thought one interesting fact that we were told was that they put 2,000 people per hour through a house on a normal night.
Yeah, there's a lot of technical planning that goes into these houses for that reason, because the lines are long. People complain about how long the lines are, but they are designed to keep people moving, and they try to squeeze 2,000 people through a house every hour. But it's all in the design to make sure that people don't get slowed down, that you got to keep moving. Sometimes people slow down and take baby steps, but if you keep moving.
What did they call that? The Halloween Horror Night Shuffle?
Yeah.
Another thing that I loved was that apparently it takes 2 days for them to gather the props. Of course, they reuse a lot of props that they have from other years. It takes 7 days to install those props. And then 4 days before they go to demolish the houses, they pull all the props and lights and stuff. But then after that, they have to take them and they have to categorize them and catalog them. And that takes another 4 to 5 weeks.
Wow.
And then when they catalog them, they have a binder that basically has, a list of everything, every prop that they have.
Right, so next year when they want to find a bloody rat tail.
Right, they'll know by looking at the morgue is what they call that binder.
That's crazy.
Which I thought was
That's
really
perfect.
cool.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
perfect.
yeah, they keep everything in theme, so just neat little details.
And they have a completely separate warehouse off-site where they house all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And big, giant boxes that each take a base. Like if you think of like the IKEA warehouse or something like that, it's like huge like that.
The IKEA warehouse just filled with like dismembered body parts and bloody rat tails.
What a glorious place.
I would love to do that job. It'd be so cool. Just neat things that you find out on the behind the scenes Screams tour that you wouldn't know going into this. So we just finished our Behind the Screams Unmasking the Horror tour. And I'm really bummed because we couldn't actually film any video, but understandable.
But you saw lots and lots of photos from inside the house. We were able to take a huge amount of photos. So hopefully it tells a little bit of the story of what you see. You get so much more depth as to what the stories are than what you can actually get while you're walking through and getting scared.
Right.
The jump scares all in
It's so fast. It's like you just miss everything for the most part. And so learning about like the plot and the decorations, it was amazing. Like $100 for the ticket, worth every penny.
Every penny.
Yeah.
So, and I do like the way we did it, seeing all of the houses last night for Premium Scare Night, and then now getting some details as to how the houses are done.
Yeah, because we didn't get any spoilers. There was a couple in our group that did not do Premium Scream, so they did get house spoilers. But they are coming tonight.
Definitely look into this VIP tour. It is definitely worth it. We came into this weekend not sure what to think, whether we were going to like it. We knew we would like some of the things about it, just because of who we are, but
loved it.
Loved. We are converts now, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I got my button.
Look at that. We got special buds for first timers.
But yeah, so the Unmasking the Horror tour, there's 2 different versions. There's a 3-house version and a 6-house version. So we did the 3-house version. It was like 2 hours? And we got to see 3 houses. If we did the 6-house tour,
At 6 different houses.
yes. So in total, if you do both of them, you get to see 9 out of the 10 houses, which is amazing.
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is the only one that doesn't have behind the scenes tour, but
I really want to see
But it
Terrifier behind the scenes.
oh yeah, which he tells us is the longest house they've ever done.
I think time-wise, going through it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was, I loved our guide.
Kendall, shout out. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We'll be
loved
back.
The people we were with, I
Yeah.
thought we had a good group. And the whole experience was amazing. So highly, highly recommend.
So what's your favorite house this year? Let us know in the comments. Love to hear that. Also, be sure that you subscribe, like the video. That really helps us out a lot. And be sure you get those notifications so you don't miss our next We Got This Adventure. Bye.
Stay spooky.